Good Thursday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrosa. Wow, the week. Where's it going? Thursday. Wow, the weather. A lot to talk about here. I guess the overall theme is quite wet, but there are some good parts in there, like the weekend may have us in between storm systems, so we'll take a look at that. And I wanted to start off with one thing, okay? Just guess right now. I'm going to give you a question here. Do you think April was colder than normal or warmer than normal or near normal? Let's see what you guess. Hey, Christy Barber, you're in the ag community. What do you think? Colder than normal or warmer than normal? Let's talk southern half of Lower Michigan. Come on. Throw out some guesses. Shelly, we will get to Saugatuck this weekend. I'm going to come back until I see some guesses from folks. Veronica Bailey says colder. Okay, I want to see. It was colder than normal with more rain, says Jeffrey Downer. Christy says warmer than normal. You're probably trying to think, oh, he's trying to trick us. We think it's cold. Okay, so let's see what folks are saying. Near normal, Jennifer Lamette. Well, let's get to it then, and then we'll get into the weather. And good morning, Battle Creek. April was just about normal, temperature-wise. This is the average temperature departure from the average for April. And this ugly gray color is right at about normal. I looked at most places. Detroit was 0.3 of a degree colder than normal. Saginaw, I think, was 1/10, which is essentially normal. Lansing, Grand Rapids was 0.2 colder than normal. Muskegon was actually a 0.5 degree warmer than normal. And as you went northward up into the UP, it was colder than normal. This right here is 2 degrees colder than normal, which is something that you would detect. But my point being is I heard a lot of people talking about, oh, what a cold April. No, folks. You might be getting close to being a snowbird or something, because it was actually a normal April temperature-wise, and snow-wise in a lot of places in the southern half. A couple of inches was about normal too. All right, let's get into the weather here. Here's our next round of rainfall back to the southwest, heading this way. So we're dry right now, southwest corner. You get it first. That's going to be the kind of pattern that we are going to be in. And here goes our radar forecast. Using a little bit different of a model today so that we can go out a little farther into the future. Let me adjust that screen a little bit. I see some weird pattern on it. Okay, so here we are into this morning, noontime or so. And that rain back to the southwest is projected by all models to somewhat dissipate and become just spotty showers in the southwest corner. This is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So what I would say is the eastern part of the state, you can plan on it staying dry probably until dinner time. Southwest corner, you're going to start to get into the showers. Hey, Paula Barber, remind me where Leslie is. I'm having a brain malfunction on that one right now, and then I can tell you what time. Hey, good morning, Daryl Dinan. Haven't seen you in a long time. And Stephanie Ann. All right, so we are into this evening now, and here comes the next rain. This is 11 o'clock tonight, midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So guess what? Southeast part, you're under a flood watch for the rain again tonight, where there could be some inch totals. I know it, Michelle. I need to mow too. I was looking at that, and I was doing my schedule today. I said, oh boy, I gotta sneak the mowing in, and I need a new mower. And what do you think about this idea? I've been looking at these electric mowers. Anybody have one? Anybody recommend one? They're all over the place now. When you go to look at a mower in Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards or wherever, just pretty much the whole front row that they're displaying are these electric mowers. I don't mind the idea. Don't have to mess around with gas and oil. They seem lighter, but I see 65 volt, I see 50 volt, I see 40 volt. Anybody have one of these and tell me what brand they like and what I guess what power of battery you need? I got a little small yard here in Frankenmuth. With a good mower, it should be like a 10-15 minute push mow, something like that. Yeah, get some goats. They might not go for that in my neighborhood in Frankenmuth. And yet again, maybe they would if I made some goat's milk cheese out of it. Okay, so we are into Friday morning. This is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Rainfall coming to an end tomorrow morning. But I also want to okay, I've heard about the Ego or Ergo or something like that. Do you have experience with that, George? Now, the pattern that we're in is little wiggles spark any rainfall. Do you ever see that pattern where it just won't stop raining any cloud that comes by? Okay, thank you, George, 56 volt. Yeah, I don't like to hire. I like to do my own lawn. Okay, so any little wiggle in the atmosphere can cause some showers. This is a Friday evening, nothing big, but you can get a real quick type mower or real quick type shower. I'm looking at all these mower suggestions. I'm going to have to go back and look. I'll concentrate on the weather here for you. Rainfall totals. Okay, rainfall totals. Keep weighing in on the electric mower, please. Rainfall totals through Friday morning, and this is why the flood watch is in effect again in the southeast. And I'm going to tell you something here. The rains we've had are heavy. They're making wet soils. They're not major flooding rains, and yet we're getting major flooding. What does that tell you? It tells you infrastructure problem, drainage, ditch, sewer problems in Michigan. Goes along with the road problems, of course. I'm not going to get political here, but my point being is we get floods now in southeast Michigan where at times, obviously when it was farmland or forest or whatever, that would have never happened because everything was soaked in. But now with all the pavement, and then you get the bad drainage from the poor roads, the ruined drainage systems, we've got ourselves a mess, and we are set up. If we got into a real flood pattern, we are actually set up for some dangerous, damaging flooding in southeast lower Michigan. Okay, so there you have it. Looks like we'll call it the southeast we'll call it the southeast 2/3 of lower Michigan. Probably at least a quarter, many spots a ½ inch, that's the blue, and some spots over an inch. Okay, we're asking for suggestions for electric mowers. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger or not. They're a little pricey, and you know, the small lawn, maybe it's not worth it, but I'm thinking about it. High temperatures today, 60s southern lower, 50s, 40s across the UP. Tomorrow, not too bad, but not real great, about 60 degrees. Saturday, tack on a couple of degrees. Sunday, tack on a couple of degrees. Just in Canada, any flooding for Jackson, you are, I believe, in the flood watch. Okay. But this is Sunday's high temperatures in the upper 60s, so we can't complain about that. But next week, Monday, Tuesday, we start to get back into a wet pattern and into Wednesday, and that will hold the temperatures down. Barbara Ann Ruff, how long will the rain pattern last? Let's get into it. It looks like it's at least another week. Sorry, folks. It is the way it is right now. Okay, so here is our computer model that goes out several days. Here's our weather system for tonight into tomorrow. Man, I just can't hold on to anything today. Okay, and here's Friday. Friday will end up being a dry day because this will come through tonight very early in the morning. You're welcome, Kiwana. Diana took her daughter to school in a kayak today. Now, the weekend, I want to caution you, it looks dry, but there's a storm to the south and a storm to the north. And again, I told you the pattern we're in does lead to surprise pop-up little showers. Hey, back to the electric mower. I have a lot of Ryobi, not to endorse any product, but I got a lot of Ryobi power tools, and the batteries seem to be good. And I see a Ryobi electric mower. Has anybody tried that one? Because I wouldn't mind the same battery charging type system rather than having things scattered all over. Okay, so here's Sunday, dry. Now let's watch next week. The whole mass. Remember I showed you a couple days ago? I showed you how the storms are kicking in out of the Pacific. Here comes the next round. We're into Monday of next week, but then after that it looks like Tuesday. This is late Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, and notice how the storms are lined up. And it looks like we get several days of rain next week. That is Thursday. This model, the American model, wants to bring another one in Friday night into Saturday and then into Sunday. I wouldn't focus too much on the exact timing of that. What I would focus on is the fact that we're going to go into another cycle of 2, 3, maybe 4 weather rounds of wet weather, only a day apart each. That's when you know that it's quite a wet pattern. I got a feeling that the Great Lakes water levels forecast is going to be off. They tend to forecast off of a normal precipitation pattern, and when the ground gets saturated and then we have more than normal precipitation, they tend to be on the low side by several inches. So we'll just have to keep a watch out for that. So what we have is we have dry weather today into the afternoon. The rain starts in the southwest corner of the state first this afternoon, then comes into the eastern part of lower Michigan during the evening and overnight hours. Remember, a flood watch in effect for the southeast tomorrow morning. You'll want to check with us at MLive to see if there are any roads closed in the southeast where they have the poor drainage in those underpasses or whatever we call them. The weekend looks dry right now, and somebody just sent a message with photos of my flooded situation. Send me some info, please, because I want to keep covering this. mtorreger at MLive.com, MTORREGR at MLive.com. And then next week looks wet again. And I'm going to check back and see if anybody has some good recommendations on which electric mower, battery-powered mower, I guess I should say. Not the kind that you plug in, but the battery-powered. Maybe I've been saying it the wrong way the whole time. I am intrigued by that. Just to ditch the gasoline, ditch the oil. You could even put up a tiny solar panel on your shed that's charging your batteries, so it would kind of remove the lawn mowing off the grid, so to speak. There you have it. I'm rambling a little bit this morning. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. I'm going to keep you updated day by day, and join me, and then you'll be able to see what windows you have some dry weather to maybe get something done outside. If you have to mow the lawn, do it now before the rain hits again later today. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have a great Thursday.